Greetings, Tezos Nation. I'm Stu from the Tezos Commons. Joining me today is Kieron Cartledge, Global Sales Director at Baanx, the DeFi fintech brand building a global financial infrastructure for your digital assets. Today, we have some very special prizes on offer. We'll be giving away 5 limited edition, first of their kind, Tezos Crypto Life Cards, the digital asset-based card accepted at more than 40 million merchants worldwide. If you'd like one of those lucky viewers to be you, which you definitely should, keep an ear out for a keyword later on during the stream. Please note that these cards are only available in certain regions at this time, so you can only win one if you're based in the UK or European Economic Area. And of course, if you have any questions for Kieron that you'd like me to ask, please add them in the chat at any time, and we'll get to as many as we can before we wrap up. Hi, Kieron. How are things in the Midlands?
Oh, Stu, they are rainy, wet, cold, pretty much the usual, to be honest. We don't get much sun here in the UK, and especially in the Midlands. We just get rain.
Midlands.
Yeah, definitely.
To get the ball rolling here, can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you got your start in the crypto game?
Yeah, so myself, I don't have like a fintech background. I actually come from sort of tech recruitment initially. And what I found was I started investing in cryptocurrency, and the guy that I was working for at the time was a big crypto investor. He is now our CEO. So I've been working with him for a number of years, and he created the Baanx concept from basically the fact that he was an investor in the crypto space, and found that there was a huge gap in the market for being able to sort of take crypto into the real world. And when he came up with the concept, I remember that we're actually sat in the office and came with the concepts, and a few people sort of looked at him with a really awkward look. And myself, I was like, that sounds so cool. Let's build a bank. Obviously, we're not a bank, but I was like, yeah, you should definitely build a bank, like a crypto fit like bank. So the next day he came in with a whiteboard, and it was like, ideas. How are we going to do this? And that's sort of how I got my foot in the game, really. He started Baanx. It was a really small team, and then one day he was like, do you want to move over? Come and be like, work for us in the sales department for the corporate side. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So that's how I got my foot in the game. That's how I sort of joined Baanx. So I've pretty much been here since day one.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So for those who might not be familiar, what is Baanx, and what's the real world problem that it's trying to solve?
Cool question. Baanx is a B2B2C business. We offer Web3 fintech solutions, specializing in bridging the gap between the fiat world and the crypto world. We work quite a lot with other communities out there, and what we do is we offer simple to implement iframes, where we've got 2 or 3 different flows that we do there, as well as white label mobile applications, all with the sort of toggleability of wallets, cards, a small little buy sell swap spot exchange, and obviously the ability to load fiat so you can purchase assets on there, and obviously the spendability of cryptocurrency at real time, in essence. And that's how it works. We've got partnerships with some of the most well-known crypto firms and crypto communities, such as Ledger, which you can see behind me, and also as well, and of course, Tezos, which is this one here.
Which you can see behind me.
Yeah, exactly. So we've both got one behind us. For Tezos, we've created some, what I'd like to call sort of a game-changing application that integrates with the Tezos blockchain, and it allows the Tezos community to manage their digital assets all in one place, as well as take out things like our crypto draft and draw upon those assets that they own, as well as being able to spend it without actually losing that crypto asset at the same time, all using the Tezos Crypto Life Card.
Wild. So what does the global sales director at Baanx do? What does your day-to-day look like this year?
So as I said, I've been here pretty much since day one with Baanx, and I've seen it grow from 4 members of staff to, I think we've got just under 100 now, maybe just over. And I've seen it grow dramatically. And my normal day sort of is looking after a really hyper-focused sales team who are looking for the right partnerships and the right sort of clients that we want to work with, such as TezLife, Ledger, Refinance, and those guys, as well as looking after the other side of it. So not just the sort of onboarding of a sale, but also as well looking at the sort of implementation phases and working really closely with our project and account management team that I look after to guide and educate the clients through the process of issuing cards, because it's not a simple process. And I look after that sort of aspect as well. So no day is the same for me, which is absolutely fantastic. I mean, I couldn't do a boring 9 to 5, let's be honest, or, you know, any other sort of role out there like that. But I look after sort of everything like that. And I work really closely with MasterCard, Visa, and some of the other schemes as well that we partner with. Even get involved in some of the sort of UAT testing and the user acceptance testing, which is pretty cool because I get to sort of get the first ever cards to test. So it's kind of cool in that respect.
Can we have a look at those?
Yeah, so these are some of the ones for Tezos, the Tezos Crypto Life Cards. This is a dummy, so there's no actual like information on it, so you can't sort of like what the holes are, which means I can show it on screen without getting told off by our compliance officer.
That's beautiful.
So yeah, that's what you're in a chance with to win.
So how does a finance infrastructure like this, like one built with digital assets in mind right from the beginning, differ from the traditional financial services we're all familiar with?
So from my point of view, and this is obviously all on me, this piece, I think what we do is we use the latest technology in order to really help people get more from their money. And when we say more for their money, we mean their digital assets, obviously, not just fiat. Personally, I'd like to see fiat die and crypto be number one in the long run. So we differ as we're completely focused on the crypto side. We want to get crypto into the hands of the many, not just the few, and make it so it's as simple as getting a card, taking that card to any merchant out there and spending digital assets at the time of transaction without having to sort of do the whole liquidate the asset, load the asset, or all of the sort of 50 steps that you have to sort of go through to be able to get there. That's what we do. That's how we differ, I would say, from anybody else, as well as using some other sort of cutting edge technologies in the background that we built with the Web3 in mind. So for our next phase.
Cool. I mean, obviously there's a significant bottleneck there currently. So this is a very interesting use case for finding a way through that bottleneck, right? To streamline things a bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, we've already mentioned your team is just about to release a limited run of these Tezos Crypto Life Cards. What can you tell us about the upcoming release and what it means for people who participate in this market and hold digital assets?
I mean, as I mentioned before, we really do believe that we've created something amazing, and not just a product for the Tezos community, but a product for everybody. The Tezos the Tezos Crypto Life app, which is obviously where you can manage your card and your assets, allows users to manage not just the XTZ, but other assets as well on there. And it allows them to buy it, sell it, hold it, stake it, spend it, draw down on it as well with effortless need. We try to make it as user-friendly as possible. And look, we're always sort of adapting it, and new features are already coming out and things like that. But not to mention the TCL cards, which we think is a really nice, easy on the eye looking design. We've only got 10K of them available at the minute. So we've got a wait list out there. So if you're looking to get one, go and get yourself on the waiting list, I would say, because there are only 10K available in the first instance. And the team is looking at bringing sort of more and more features to the application and to the card itself as well, not just the app, but to the card. So we can really, you know, constantly communicate with the community and show them what we're doing. And we also take feedback on board and what they want from the product themselves as well.
Okay. We mentioned that this particular run is focused exclusively on the European Economic Area and the UK. Are there plans ahead to expand that?
Yeah, so we are looking to bridge out into other locations as well. The UK and Europe, or the EA, sorry, is the start, and then we're looking at things like the US and so on and so forth. But obviously, these things come with time, and I'm sure you'll ask me some questions about it later as well. But these things come with time, and there's a lot of sort of steps that you have to go through. There's a lot of sort of hoops from a traditional finance world that we have to really sort of navigate through, as well as the regulations on the crypto side as well.
Of course. On that note, we do have a giveaway to do. Oh, great stuff so far. I'm super excited to learn more. Before we get into the nitty gritty, are you ready for the world famous TezTalks lightning round?
Yeah, I really am. Let's get it done. Let's go. Let's do this.
Just before we do that, I'd like to announce today's keyword for the limited edition Tezos Crypto Life Cards we're giving away today. Reminder once again, this is only open to viewers in the UK and European Economic Area. Today's keyword is !Tezos CL. Enter the keyword !Tezos CL in the live stream chat, and Nightbot will randomly select today's winners, and we'll announce them before the end of the stream. Okay, now, Kieron, it's lightning round time.
Okay, let's do this.
Remember, there are no wrong answers, and this is just for fun, so our listeners can get to know you a little bit better.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Go. Let's go.
Sushi or pizza?
Pizza.
Excellent choice. Simpsons or Family Guy?
Simpsons. I mean, they predict the future. Let's be honest.
Again, excellent choice. Movies or video games?
Video games all day, every day.
Fair enough. Is this real life, or are we in a simulation?
I mean, what is real? Is this the blue pill, the red pill? I mean, we could actually be living in the Matrix right now, and the metaverse could actually be real life. Maybe. That's what I think anyway. I'll let the viewers ponder on that one.
True or false? Money buys happiness.
False. Happiness brings wealth, both in life and in your pocket.
Ooh, you went deep on me there.
I did.
Name one thing you absolutely want to do before you die.
Oh, there's loads. I'd probably say see digital assets take over the fiat world. And we'll not need to sort of bridge the gap between fiat and crypto.
Excellent. The last place you traveled was?
Lisbon. We just opened a new office in Lisbon for our sort of operations side of things. We're also opening new offices in various other regions in the European Economic Area, as well as growing the ones that we've already got here in the UK and also as well in the US.
Cool. Lisbon is a lovely town.
It's lovely. It was nice. I enjoyed it, to be honest. Pity it was raining, but yeah.
Fair enough. In 5 words or less, how would your best friend describe you?
Passionate, enthusiastic, emotional, and probably friendly and driven.
Finally, what is your favorite movie?
Right, but hands down, 8 Mile. Growing up, I was a huge Eminem fan. I've got 2 children, and my youngest, who's 9 months old, his middle name is actually Marshall after Eminem. And obviously, when I went to Malta, I met with Akon, and the first question I asked him was, "What was it like to work with Eminem?"
You met Akon, eh?
Yeah. It was. Yeah, I met later. It was cool.
Amazing. Fabulous answers. This concludes the TezTalks lightning round. Now let's get back into it. I understand you have a promo video that you'd like to share with us today. Can we take a look at that?
Yes, please.
Hopefully we can cue that up. Or maybe not. Maybe we can't. Okay. I have the feeling we may have to come back to the promotional video a little bit later.
Oh, no. No, it's fine. Yeah, I'm sure that's fine.
Okay. So we'll try to get that figured out. I'm not sure what's happened there, but
yeah, cool.
What is the launch of an entirely crypto-based card like yours, which is, we mentioned, accepted at over 40 million merchants worldwide? tell us about where we're currently at in the sort of the larger endeavor to make crypto into a fully functioning currency.
So I would say the fiat world, as we all know, is really slow. It's very much governed by the big banks out there and the governments. And I think digital assets are really giving the power back to the people. And the whole point of cryptocurrency was to do that, in my opinion, and give it back to the masses, which is kind of what we do. And in fact, it's exactly what we do. We give the choice to the users what they want to do with their own assets, and with their own money. So, they can select what they want to spend, whether it's XTZ or BTC. It's completely their choice. They can also stake and gain against their assets, but at larger rates than what, say, like a traditional ISA would allow them to do. And I would say that's the main thing that we want to do is give the choice back to the users. And that's what we had in mind when we were building this product.
Okay. Obviously, for some time now, we've been hearing a lot about crypto's enormous potential applications in the finance sector. What do you think it will take to make that potential into a reality?
Mass adoption, in my opinion, it would be the mass adoption, like companies like ourselves, Baanx, that are bridging the gap between DeFi and traditional finance, really do help a lot, as well as blockchains, technology firms and ecosystems like Tezos that bring low transaction costs, that are greener and operate in such a way that is for the users and for the people. We're offering our users a better way to control the money, whether that be digital or fiat. And we also allow sort of our users to have that sort of full control over everything that they're doing within the systems, whether that be staking their BXX to gain more return on the investments, which, as I said before, it's similar to like an ISA, but with an ISA, I know with mine, I only get 0.1% or 0.01% actually, interest. Whereas what we're doing on the staking aspects is we're giving 5 to 25%, depending on how long that user wants to sort of lock their asset for. But again, that's completely up to them. That's up to them to control it. They've got the full freedom to do that. And on top of that, we've just created a couple of new products as well, such as our crypto draft. It kind of works very similar to a traditional overdraft. I know obviously the UK and the USA have those. It works very similar to a traditional overdraft, just without the needing for loads of paperwork. And I mean, come on, nobody wants to fill out loads of paperwork and sign agreements and have credit checks and all of that stuff. And we beat that. And again, the users have complete control of how long, the amount, and how they pay their interest repayments back. And in some cases, with our crypto draft, there's no interest at all. So it's a really innovative product, and we're giving control back.
Wow. So, I mean, that sounds like, a significant change over what we're used to in terms of utilizing financial services and in terms of being able to spend our own wealth. As a company that's offering an alternative and something that is so significantly different, what kinds of resistance has your team encountered on your journey to bringing this card to market?
I would say the main resistance has been from the sort of more regulatory side of it. It changes all the time, and ensuring that banks are following not just the crypto regulation aspects, because as you've seen, the FCA have started regulating it here in the UK. And we've seen more regulations coming from Germany, France, the US, so on and so forth. But also as well, there's that traditional finance as well, and the fiat ones that we have to follow. I think the hardest aspect really is that regulators sometimes don't know what they're regulating or how to regulate it. And complete hats off to our internal team here. So our CBO, CEO, and COO, and CCO as well. They've worked really well with different issuers and the regulators to make this possible. More on top of the educational side, so sort of looking at what they should be regulating to really make it possible. And banks, whether it be our TezLife Crypto Life app or any of our other iframes or other products and clients that you can see behind me that we work with, we want to make sure that we're doing this positively, working with our regulators, working with those that regulate us and want to start regulating this, to teach them how to do it. And sometimes people are a little bit scared of regulations, I would say. But I think what you've got to do is really embrace them a little bit more. And as crypto becomes more and more adopted in the mainstream, we'll see more and more of these come in. So sometimes it's about sort of moving with the motions and educating people, educating the regulators and educating people rather than trying to swim upstream.
Yeah. Well, it certainly appears as though, regulation is inevitable, whether we want to be afraid of it, whether we want to resist it or not, it's coming.
Yeah.
So we do kind of have to figure out a way to go with the flow, right?
Yeah, 100% agree with you there.
It sounds like we may be ready for the video now. So we're gonna cue that up.
Nice one.
Wow, that looks exciting. Very spectacular. So it mentions at the end there that to join the waitlist today, how can people do that?
So the waitlist is available at tezoscrypto.life. I think I've got that right. But it's available at the Tezos Crypto Life, and you can join the waitlist over there. I'm just checking that I've got that link right. Yeah, it's tezoscrypto.life, and you can join the waitlist there.
Once somebody's done that, what's the timeline like for somebody to have this thing in their hands and be able to use it?
So right now we're obviously on the waitlist aspect, and we're looking at sort of the release of the TezLife Crypto Life Card. The app is already available, so you can download the application already. You can sign up, you can load your assets, you can do all of the fun stuff. The card itself should be available in the next few weeks. As I said, once these guys come through, which is our sort of little dummies, then it's pretty much ready to go. It's just a case of finalizing packaging, and they'll be shipped out soon.
How can people find out where these cards can be used? Like which merchants accept them?
So the merchants themselves, so anywhere that accepts MasterCard, pretty much you can use these cards. There's only a select few online aspects that they can't be used in for regulatory purposes, and for safety as well of our users. That's key in our eyes. It's about safety as well. But all of those are available in our terms and conditions, which you can find on that TezLife Crypto Life app, within the app, and also as well on the website. As well as if you're unsure, we do have in-app chat, so you can ask any of our customer service operations, and they'll do that. As well as if you've got any other questions, you can hit us on Twitter. We do have the TezLife Crypto Life Twitter, as well as our Telegram channel, which is Baanx_BXX.
Cool. Why did the Baanx team decide to build a DeFi app powered by Tezos, as opposed to some of the other blockchain options available?
I think really the Tezos Foundation. So just to give a bit of a background, really, the foundation invested in Baanx during some of the early days of our company, and the early days of Baanx. I think they saw the potential of what we were doing and how we were really sort of pushing the boundaries within the space of financial services. And our relationship has really remained strong ever since. We truly see massive potential in what Tezos offers and the blockchain offers, particularly how it gives the power of governance and decision making back to its users, which is exactly what we're doing from a finance point of view, and they're doing from a blockchain point of view. And as you know, giving user control is something we are really passionate about, and we're more we're doing more and more with Tezos, and we really want to sort of develop the project and the product even more with their help. And from my own personal aspect, the reason I really enjoy working with Tezos is the fact that it's green. It's a greener blockchain. It's safer, in my own opinion, as well. And the community themselves around Tezos are incredibly supportive. Everybody I've ever spoken to within the industry or that are related to Tezos in whatever way, whether it's a DApp that's built on Tez or an NFT artist, that honestly, the community is so supportive.
I was actually the next thing that I was going to ask is, you know, now that you've made that decision and now that you've sort of become involved in that community and interacting with the people in it, how have you found the experience to be?
It's definitely been a positive one. 100%. And as I said, Tezos have been a completely loyal partner to us since the beginning, and they're backed by an amazing community. We're also seeing some really, really great things being built on them and built on that blockchain. I mean, yesterday we were having a chat with the creative director of Teslatopia, who I believe was also on here last week.
Yes, I spoke to them.
Yeah, which is a fantastic game. Where you can earn yield, obviously, through farming and battling and that side of stuff. It's a whole lot of fun, and I would definitely recommend it. I mean, I played it myself, not to pin them again, but yeah. And as people who know me know, I wasn't a massive fan of NFTs at first. I shouldn't really say that being in the crypto space, but I wasn't at first. But since the launch of the TezLife NFTs, I fell in love with them. The greener, the safer, the easier to mint, and oh my god, the community is so supportive of new artists all the time. My brother, for example, my sister, both of them are artists, and they jump in and they're on Tezos. So, and the community behind it has been so supportive of them, and it's just really, really nice to see. I think sometimes we forget we are a community at large, to be honest with you. And I find with some of the other sort of chains out there, there's a lot more competition about who is better and this person's better than that person. And I don't find any of that within the community, to be honest.
Obviously, like a Tezos powered card like this is huge news. But I assume there's more in the works. Like what other kinds of financial services are you excited to see emerge in the blockchain space in general and Tezos specifically?
I mean, from these are obviously only my own personal sort of ideas, to be honest. Hopefully some of these come to life. But like I would say, using NFTs as a way to sort of passport and verification, and things like cross-platform sharing of verifications using NFTs, with all of your sort of KYC and EDD documentation within that NFT. So you can literally just swap from platform to platform without having to go through everything continually all the time. I think that'd be pretty cool. And I mean, who knows? This might be coming sooner than you actually think. Yeah. Also, I think
Good to know.
I'm going to shut up there before I say anything else. And also, I think like what would be really, really cool, and what we're not seeing is we talk about EDD and we're talking about KYC here, but what we don't see is cards that don't require a verification, completely anonymous on-chain spending, where you actually are spending from a non-custodial wallet. Now, me personally, I think that's pretty cool. And also as well, it could also help bridge into things like the metaverse and a metaverse-based banking. And who knows what's next? But I'd love to see any of that, to be honest, personally.
The KYC stuff that you mentioned was really interesting. I mean, obviously, you know, a lot of people experience that to be a bit of a barrier to moving into new stuff and opening new things, having to go through that whole process again every time. Where I guess what you're talking about, the sort of the real world comparison would be like your ID.
Yeah, exactly.
Your one ID. This is how I prove who I am everywhere I go. It's the same card. You know, I'm not sort of put through a different process with everybody where my face is being scanned and stuff like that.
Exactly. Can you imagine if, like, in app you had your NFT and you walked up to the passport office and was like, "This is me," and there is no way to fake it.
Your QR code.
Here's my QR code. This is me. There is no way to fake it. Do you see what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What can the Tezos community look forward to seeing from Baanx in the months and years to come? I know you can't talk about everything, but is there anything that you can tell us about exciting things that you have in the works?
Yeah. Sorry, I just had to be to cough. I mean, maybe some of the above. I can't say too much, but who knows? We've also got a number of the clients coming out with our platform, that are being launched, stuff like Ledger, refinance, and some really cool dexes as well. I'm also excited about sort of adding more utility to our own token, which is BXX. Things like cashback, staking, really enhancing that aspect and adding some extra utility to the TezLife Crypto Life app, which will allow people to get, as they spend, get XTC back. Things like that. These are all in the works, and that's what we're working on as we speak. It's not there yet, but it will be. And I think that's sort of that's what I'm excited to see personally. Okay.
We have a couple of questions from a viewer named Otez2223. First one being, if we have the card with the Tezos loaded on, can we continue staking with the balance on the card?
So at present, no, but that is something that we are looking at doing in the future. And a way to using our sort of 1 second, my light's gone off. So sorry about that. And one thing as well that you can do is you can draw down on what you already own. So if you have XTZ within your wallet and you want to draw down a specific amount using our crypto draft or the crypto draft element of the application, you can literally stake it and draw down on that asset without actually losing the amount of it. So you're not actually spending it. We are in essence giving you a credit line against your cryptocurrency. That is probably the best way to describe it. We are looking at how we can do this in the future, and it is on the roadmap. But right now, that's the way it works, and it works really, really, really well, in my own opinion.
It's an interesting solution.
Yeah, you don't have to lose your asset. Why sell it? Why liquidate it when you can just draw down on it and loan against it almost?
And their other question from Otez2223 is, do you have any NFTs? And if so, what are they?
I do. I like a lot of the sort of under or unknown artists, to be honest. I'm a bit of a sap when it comes to Fly. I will go and support the sort of people without a following. I kind of like it. If it looks cool, I'll buy it. I've got a few. There's nothing in my portfolio that's like absolutely mental, though. I'm not going to sit here and say I've got $20,000 worth of NFTs because I haven't. I like the up and comers. I like supporting the unknown personally.
Like your siblings that you mentioned.
Yes, I've got a few of those.
Do you want to plug them while you have the opportunity?
Oh no, I'm not going to do that here. No, it's fine.
Fair enough. Final question here. Which myth about blockchain technology and cryptocurrency would you most like to see dispelled?
Probably the fact that like cryptocurrency doesn't have any use case at all. You see it all the time. We see it with if you look in the BBC relaunched the missing crypto queen, and that was really about a negative aspect of cryptocurrency. We've seen the new Netflix series that's come out, which again is about a negative aspect of cryptocurrency. You never hear the good bits. You never see what we're actually doing behind the scenes. Nobody look. I'm so happy that Tezos went and sort of sponsored the F1, and they've pushed the boundaries and gone out there in the real world and football and stuff like that. And they've really tried to bridge themselves into everyday worlds, so that like everyday people see their brand and they start asking questions. When I first started here at Baanx, one thing that happened for me was, oh, that crypto. That's you're just going to lose your money. That crypto. It was always that crypto. It was never, there was never anything positive, and it was about educating people. hear it all the time when somebody asks me what I do. I go, oh, I work for Baanx. We're a fintech. We bridge the gap between fiat and crypto. And they're like, oh, crypto. And then when you actually explain what we're doing, they're like, what? So you can actually use it. It's like, yeah, it's not just there for gains and stuff. And, you know, you don't lose hundreds of millions of dollars and stuff like that. It's like it can actually be used and it has a utility. You just need to educate yourself. And that's kind of what I do on an everyday basis. I mean, my mom now knows about crypto. She has to listen to me every day. So yeah, it's great.
Does she have any yet?
No. I did tell her though, I'm going to start. I'm going to start spending. If I'm going to start sending her cash in crypto, using text on the TezLife app.
We have another audience queue here from Regular Guy HQ. Are there any restrictions to some countries using this feature?
Which feature? Are we talking about? So just to sort of like, yeah. So the only sort of restrictions we have right now is obviously around the cards aspect, and the app is available in the UK and the EA. You can download it in some of other countries as well, I believe. I'd have to double check on that. But in terms of like the regulatory aspects of it, it is regulated under the FCA here in the UK, and it's also regulated in the European Economic Area. And the cards are only available in the UK and the European Economic Area. I hope that answers your question. If not, drop us another message and I'll try and answer the actual aspect.
Enough. We're almost at the end here. The winners of today's awesome limited edition Tezos TezLife cards can be found in the chat. Congratulations to all those who got one. To claim your cards, just email us at social@tezoscommons.org. We'll request a screenshot for verification that you're the account owner. You'll need to complete a KYC and all that fun stuff. But once you have, then we'll get your shiny new cards over to you just as quick as we can. For those who missed out today, we remind you there are awesome giveaways to be found frequently here on the Tezos live stream. So keep tuning in. If you'd like to get in touch with us, our social media contacts can be found at tezoscommons.org/TezTalks, and we would love to hear from you, good or bad. Kieron, thanks so much for joining us today. It's always awesome to speak to the folks who are working behind the scenes, building awesome projects like Baanx on Tezos, and keeping Tezos at the forefront of the DeFi revolution. Is there anything else you'd like to mention before we sign off? I understand Baanx is running a contest at the moment. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So we're running a contest around the actual Tezos Crypto Life, the Tezos Crypto Life application as well. So any reviews or any content creation that you guys do, it's posted on our Tezos Crypto Live Twitter, and it's a pinned message. So if you search for Tezos Crypto Live on Twitter, you'll find it, and the T's and C's are published on Bitcoin Talk. What we're looking for is you download the app and just review it for us. You know, real world reviews from those that use Tezos. So yeah, thank you, and again, thank you very much for having us on today. It's been an absolute pleasure. I've really enjoyed it, and don't forget to go join the waitlist.
We're really excited to give these cards a try.
In fact, I'll show you a bigger version. There you go.
Please do. Oh, wow. That is a big version.
There you go, guys. Go and grab your card.
Can I order one that size?
I mean, I've asked if I could get one that size, and apparently it costs a fortune in plastic. So it's about saving the environment as well.
All right. Thanks. To everyone out there in Tezos land, thanks for joining us on the TezTalks live stream. I'm Stu from the Tezos Commons, and our awesome guest has been Kieron Cartledge, Global Sales Director of Baanx. Now let's go spend some crypto.